Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, things are looking a little bit different this time. I did a new backdrop for the spooky season. I dyed my hair back to black, so there's no more browns, no more warm tones. And I got my spooky Sanderson Sisters shirt on because we're about to do a really beautiful look inspired by the Sanderson Sisters Hocus Pocus. Today I'm going to be doing a review on a brand that I have never tried before. This is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics, but I'm gonna be using a few items and I'm gonna show you today. I'm gonna do a review on the texture, the consistency, the colors, etc., etc. Today I have two different types of liquid lipstick. I have one in the color Like a Pro and one in Hunting. As you can see, they're very similar, but one is slightly darker than the other. So I'm very excited to see how these will turn out. I'm also going to review the Blend Bunny Cream Gel Eyeliner in the color Black. Last but not least, I'm going to be reviewing the Ellis Atlantis palette. The palette, very cute, very edgy. And are you ready for the inside? Look at those beautiful colors. Oh my goodness. Your imagination can literally run wild. There's so many fun colors, shades. Look at all these beautiful shimmers right there in the middle. Those nice warm tones and cool tones. And just look at that beautiful packaging. Look at that beautiful mirror and that diva, the icon. I went ahead and swatched all the colors on that palette so you guys can see how pigmented they are. And so you can see that those shimmers are not all the same color. You can see there's a yellow, there's a pink, blue, and a green, I think a purple as well. Towards the bottom, I also did swatch those two lipsticks. One is more of a deeper wine color and the other one is like a cherry. And then in the very end, there's that black gel eyeliner that I was talking about. And this is a look that we're going to create today. I tried to use as much colors as possible so you guys can see the outcome of how well that palette works. Alright, I went ahead and already concealed the bottom of my eyebrows with the same stuff that I always use. And I have primed them with the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour primer. Here I am using the color Vortex, which is a light blue. And I'm using a fluffy brush to just blend out in that corner right there. I did notice that it wasn't as pigmented as I thought it was, so I had to go back a few times to grab more of that shadow to give it the full color that I wanted. And I do know that it could have also been the brush that I was using. I know there are some that do pick up more product. This one is more of a compact one, so it didn't have as much. Next, I'm using the color Infestation on top of that light blue. And it's a beautiful lime green color, and I'm just buffing it out all the way up to my eyebrow. And I also want to mention none of these products in this video are sponsored. I'm just doing a review because I had recently bought this palette and these items and I just wanted to test them out. Next, I'm going to be using the color Presence and I'm going to try to blend that out as best as possible with that blue and a little bit of that green. And as you can see, this one as well, I was adding a few layers of that color to get it as pigmented as possible. Some of these shadows did feel a little bit dry. And by that I mean like they were a little bit difficult to blend, but otherwise, so far the pigmentation is there. And like I mentioned previously, maybe it's just the brushes that I was using. Maybe I need to buy some new ones or just fluffier ones to see if it gives me a different result. And I will be testing out more looks with this palette later on. Next, I'm going to be using the color Illusion on top of that other purple color that I just used. And I'm going to try to blend that out closer to my eyebrow bone. This one, as you can see, is blending out very nicely and very soft. And as you can see as well, the brush that I'm using is a lot fluffier. And now I'm going to go back into that previous color and I'm going to intensify it so it does not get lost. Since we are going to be cutting the crease, you want to make sure that you see that depth of that color. Same thing with that blue, I'm just adding it again to intensify that color. Also, comment down below and tell me what you guys are going to be for Halloween because I'm curious. I plan on being a sugar skull, but I know at my job we like to do like group team costumes and we haven't really set on exactly what we're going to do, but the sugar skull is definitely my first option for myself. Once you have the desired intensity of the colors, we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. And I'm using the e.l.f. concealer in the lightest color. I look like I'm being possessed the way I'm opening my eyes. We're going to be doing a full crease. And while I'm cutting my crease, let me know down below what your favorite candy is for Halloween or just in general. I'm more of a chocolate fan, so I really like anything that's chocolate. But I would say my favorite would have to be Reese's Cups. And if I want to do something more sweet, tangy, or like sour, I usually go for Laffy Taffy or the sour gummy worms. I also do like the dots, and I know people don't tend to like those very much because it gets stuck in your teeth, but that's okay. I still think they're pretty good. Do people even still eat circus peanuts? I'm curious. I think I've only had them once, and I don't think I really cared for them, but I know some people really do enjoy them. I just don't know if people are still eating them or not. When cutting the crease, you do want to take your time. That's why you see me taking my time on just that one eye, because this will determine on how sharp and clean the eye looks. And now that we have finished cutting the crease, I'm going to use the color Nuclear, and I'm only going to focus that on the outer parts of the crease that we just cut. I thought this color was going to be more orange, but it's actually a lot more red than I thought, but it's so pigmented, and as you can see, it's a very good color. And I had used a flat brush to just pack on that color. You don't want to use a fluffy brush when applying colors to the crease part, because it will just go all over the place and it won't be as intense as it looks here. And I did speed up this process so you don't have to sit there and watch me do this part for a long time. Next, with another flat brush, I am picking up the color Voltage, and I'm only going to be centering that in the middle. And I do know that the orange does look a little crazy right now. That's okay. We're going to be blending it out more further on in this video. I don't know why those colors are giving me lava lamp vibes. I don't know if you guys can see it too, because you know some lava lamps would be like orange and yellow or pink and purple, but it reminds me so much of that. I also sped up this process as well, and here I am just trying to blend out that orange with that yellow as much as possible. Next, with a little bit more of a fluffy brush, I am grabbing the color Energize, and it's like a soft peachy color, and I'm using that to blend the yellow and the orange together. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the shimmer. I am using a flat fluffy brush to add the color Supernova on top of where the yellow is. The camera is definitely not doing its justice with this beautiful shimmer. It is a very creamy base, and I believe you can also use this as a highlighter for your face. Also, I forgot to mention that the shadows on the palette are magnetic, and you can remove the pans if you're traveling or if you're a makeup artist and just need a few colors, and I think that's pretty cool. But yes, girl, look at that shimmer. It's so cute. And I went ahead and did my base off camera and also finished the other eye. Next, I'm going to go back into that color Energize, and I'm going to be applying that to the lower lash line. And I'm using a more precise blending brush for this because I don't want it to be all over the place. I just wanted to focus on the lower lash line. And in this part, I am just using all the colors that I used before, and I'm applying that to my bottom lash line, and I'm trying to blend that out all together. But overall, I would say I really like this palette. I know there are some shades that I do have to work with a little bit more, but other than that, I think it has all the colors that you need. You have your warm transitions, your darks, your shimmers, and of course your colorful colors. And I do like that it has a huge mirror, so I feel like if I was ever traveling somewhere or going to an event, I would definitely take this palette with me because it has all I would need. Maybe in a different video, I might test out the shimmers as a highlighter and see how well that looks. And I paid $68 for this palette, and it comes with 48 different colors, so you definitely get a good money's worth. This collection also has 2 sets for your cheeks. There are mini palettes with 3 different shades. One's a more orangey and the other one's a more pink. And they are the Solar Flare and the Lunar Eclipse palettes. And it also has the Celestial Cheek Glaze, which is basically like a blush with a hint of shimmer. I do plan on picking those up in the future, so I can definitely do a review and show you guys. Next, I'm using the cream gel liner in the color black, and I have already tested this out on the swatch that I show you guys, so I'm excited to see how well it performs on my eyes. And I'm going to be using a flat angle brush to create that eyeliner. We're not going to give ourselves a wing this time, but it's just going to be around our eyelash line. And right from the start, this gel cream liner is very creamy, as it says in the packaging. It is very smooth and very pigmented, and I can tell that I didn't even have to dig into the pod very much to get some of that color. So I would definitely buy this again for sure. And next, I'm using a creamy black eyeliner to fill in my waterline. You can switch out the black eyeliner and use a white one or even an orange one. It just depends on your preference, but in this case I only had the black, so I will use the black for now. And next I'm going to go back into the palette and I'm going to grab the color Transcend, which is a shimmery blue color. And as you can see, it is definitely shimmery and it looks so good. It's popping. I'm so happy. Next, I'm going to be using that same color and I'm going to be applying that in my inner corner because we definitely have to make the eyes pop even more. And now that we have added that shimmer, I'm going to go ahead and just pop on some lashes. And now time for the review for the lipstick. And I'm going to be using the color Like a Pro, and I will say I really do like this packaging. And first thoughts when I apply this lipstick is that it is very smooth and super pigmented. I just love the consistency and I love how it applies. The palette is only with the Ellis Atlantis collection, the liquid lipstick and the cream gel liner that is a separate product from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. So I'm wondering to see if they have any more colors or even glosses because I'm a big fan of glosses. I did have this lipstick on all day and I will say that it did not come off very easily and it did not give me that dry textured feel whenever you put on liquid lipstick. So I really did like that it stayed creamy throughout the whole day. And that is all for this look. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. If you guys have any feedback for me or any suggestions, let me know. I'm happy to read those. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Celestial Beauty.